Hello and welcome to the second time we've gone live tonight. It's Or to Know Better. We're here for our weekly pod, bit of a catch up. How's it going, Luke?
Yes, spot on, mate. Not too bad at all. Obviously, lots to talk about, even though we've not had a game this week. Yeah, mental, isn't it? You know, we've just got so much to talk about. You know, there's never a dull moment at Elland Road.
No, definitely not. How are you doing yourself, Jay? You all right?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. I'm tired as fuck, to be honest, and just a bit sleepy. But you know, I'll just be subdued down here.
Hey, there's a joke in there, Sleepy.
Yeah. You know,
Hey,
it's
Jay.
one that I'd met you.
Hey, Jay, at least you haven't got any technical difficulties tonight anyway. That's the main thing.
Not today, Paul. Not today.
not
If
today,
only
not
to
today.
smite fucking spy.
Oh, sound. Luke, roll the intro there, please, man.
Hi, this is Don Matteo, and you are listening to the Or to Know Better podcast. Let's do this.
You look like fucking Brolin, you're a Leeds hating bastard. Look like some sort of fucking weird floating head. No. You tensile play it a bit, innit?
I mean, I feel a bit right, dickhead.
Nothing spectacular, really. Nothing spectacular. Here we go.
Nothing spectacular at all. No, how are you doing, lads? It's good to see you again for another rambling of sorts.
Always
Captain.
a pleasure.
Yep, good stuff. Well, we've got a good show out tonight, I think. We've got a few bits and bobs to talk about what's going on at Elland Road this week or last week. The Arsenal game coming up. We've no Paul tonight, so we don't need Smarty, so it's absolutely fine. No, we do not. But we also have a very special guest on tonight. FAWNL Play Final winner, Bridie Hannon. You going to bring her in there, Luke? Yeah, on the ball. How's it going, Bridie?
Hi, guys. Yeah, good to see you all. Thanks for having me.
Evening,
No
Bridie.
bother at all.
That felt really weird you saying that, by the way. I was like, wait, is that me?
That's definitely you. Yeah, definitely you. Thanks for coming on, Bridie. Appreciate you coming on. I know you're very busy with a few podcasts coming up over the next couple of days. So
we got you first.
Yeah,
You
appreciate
did,
you
we
taking
got
the time.
What's
So
that you got around your neck there?
Oh,
Well, I thought you'd never ask Luke, actually. It's it's the winners medal from the weekend. So
Hey,
it's
come look
my
at
first bit of silverware. So
Well done.
yeah, it's not really been off my neck, to be honest. So yeah, proudly wearing it this evening.
Yeah, man. You could
Fantastic.
do a Tyler Roberts on it and just wear it everywhere.
Yeah.
Just wear it everywhere.
It
You're a
did come into
beefer.
Headingley with me. I'm not going to lie. It did come into Headingley with me.
And
The
it,
other day.
and it left with you. And it left with you, which is a
It left
bonus.
with me, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's
So
when you
just,
go on holiday with it and it disappears when you're in the sea and you're like, oh shit, where's it gone?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's coming to Tenerife for me in a couple of weeks' time. I'll be walking around with my bikini on, and this is just going to be.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you see any Leeds fans, you probably won't have to buy any drinks.
No, exactly, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. Make sure you put it on all socials where you're going on holidays and exactly where you're going to be.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure you won't have any.
Oh,
drinks
don't with
tonight.
our fan base.
Not
actually.
exactly where
Well,
she's going to be, Carl. Not
Yeah,
exactly
okay,
where
fair
she's
enough.
gonna
All
be.
right. I was just trying to get her free drinks. That's all I was trying to do. That was literally it. So, Bridie, you must be buzzing after the win. It's been a long time coming, that kind of a big win for you, hasn't it?
It has. I mean, I've been at Leeds for probably coming on maybe 7 or 8 years now, and I was obviously started off at Leeds when it was actually Leeds Ladies FC. Obviously, that was when there was no affiliation with the club, and obviously we had the old badge type thing. I think that was when he was there, wasn't it, Carl? I think Leeds
Yeah.
Ladies FC. And then obviously Andrea came in, and obviously we've joined forces again, and we've been in a couple of finals in terms of like the county cup and things like that, but nothing really major. I think this season with Rick coming in, obviously he brings a wealth of experience and knowledge and everything like that, and it's been really good to work under him. Obviously, we've had a good cup run in terms of the FA Cup, and then to obviously reach the final of this plate competition was really quite special. And given that I'm 33 now, coming towards the end of my career, that's why you said, "Don't be silly, Brian."
Don't be silly, Brian. Plenty of years.
But yeah, so it was really special for me to win something and to represent the club and to have my family there. And it was just such a good feeling, like, to get over the line. Because they did score in the game, and at one point, obviously, we were drawing 1-1, but we came out second half, and it was a much better performance, and I think we deserved the win in the end.
Yeah, I thought so as well. I did watch it. It was on the YouTube feed for Leeds United, so I had it on here in the house. Were you all a bit nervous at 1-1?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we were a bit nervous. I think for some of these girls that have never been in a final before, maybe not as high level. I mean, we turned up and there were lots of cameras there, lots of fans. As soon as we got off the coach, there were people there. It's a big occasion, and Sue Smith was there, and doing a bit of the commentary and punditry and stuff like that. So yeah, it was quite nerve-wracking. I mean, I'd like to think I'm an experienced head, but even I felt a little bit nervous before we went out, and I think, at 1-1, you're never really safe. And, there's been games this year where we've been in the lead and we've lost and things like that. So, it was really important that second half we came out and we didn't want to kind of drop too much, and we didn't want to let them kind of grow in confidence in the game. And I think we pretty much started out, really strong in the first half. We got the second goal. And then it was 2-1, and then I think it was literally a few seconds after we'd scored the second goal, they hit the crossbar, and I thought, oh no, not this again! I can't go through this again, because the last thing I wanted, was it to go to extra time and stuff like that. So then we got that third goal, and then the remaining kind of 10 minutes was just a case of just game management, just keeping the ball in their half. And we did that thing where we go into the corners, and I hate that when you play against that kind of team and they take the ball into the corner and you just want to get the ball back. But obviously, when you're on the winning side as a centre half, that's exactly where you want the ball to be. The girls managed the game really well, kind of like the last 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, I did. When I was watching the game, that moment you said they hit the crossbar. At first glance, when I was watching it, it looked like your keeper actually made a very good save to tip it onto the bar.
Yeah.
But then on the replay, you could kind of see she was a little bit beaten, not by much now, to be fair at all. But it was a very kind of lucky moment for you, and then you went on and got the third, which must have been comforting, really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they scored quite a long-range shot in the first half, and I thought, oh God, they're going to do it again in the second half. And I think, to be honest, that's probably testament to how we were playing, because we were almost forcing them to have those long-range shots because they were struggling to break us down in terms of like the through balls and stuff like that. They couldn't really kind of break us down. But, I think sometimes this season we have been, I suppose, at fault, in a couple of times defensively, and almost created our own problems. We've played against teams this year. I remember we played in the County Cup against the Yorkshire Amateurs, and in the first 5 minutes, you kind of think, right, this should be a nice, easy game for us. We're playing against, lower league opposition, no disrespect to them. And we allowed them a goal just due to a bit of a slack defending. Obviously, we won the game quite comfortably. I think it was 7-1 or something. But you kind of, throughout these big games, those kind of moments, they kind of haunt you a little bit in the back of your mind. And you think, please let this not be another one of those moments. But like I said, they hit the crossbar, and we kind of had a bit of a word with ourselves. And I think there was a break in play. I think someone went down injured, and we kind of, I saw 2 or 3 of the girls chatting, saying, girls, we can't lose this. Like, we're in the lead. We've got to manage the game, use his experience, keep the ball, nothing silly. And in the game as well, we gave quite a lot of silly free kicks away. And again, at the start of the game, we said, let's not do that, because, again, we're just creating our own problems. And sometimes we go in for challenges and we don't necessarily need to, because you've got maybe a player or two behind you that can cover you. And I think sometimes that's a bit of inexperience as well. But, this is some of the girls that are new to our team. So it is, it's the first season that we've all been together. It's the first season with the manager, we're still learning, quite a young team. Obviously, Barney and a couple of others. But yeah, as I say, we are still learning. So to get this far and to manage the game how we did, I think was just amazing. And we didn't play the best we've ever played. We know that. We could have done a lot better than what we did, but obviously we did enough to win. And I think that's the difference between the leagues, if I'm being completely honest. I think when we've come up against opposition in the kind of like Midlands League, whether they're league above or a similar level, we've got some real success against them this year. So I think it's a testament to the Northern League, to be fair. And, to West Yorkshire, if you like. We've obviously got some really strong teams over here.
Sorry, do you find there's a lot of responsibility on you to help those younger players that you were talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, sometimes you hear messages from the sideline and things like that. And as a player, you can get a little bit confused, like, what am I supposed to do? Because, sometimes they have a vision of what they think they should be doing or which pass they should be playing. And you sometimes hear instructions from the sideline. And sometimes you've got to just do what's natural because, time and time again, sometimes you play a pass and you think, I wasn't going to play that one. I was going to play that one. And now we've lost it. And now we're in a dangerous position. And sometimes you have just got to express yourself a little bit. So yeah, absolutely. At half time, it was a case of, look, guys, we won all. We're still in this game. We're on top. We know technically we're the better team. It's ours to basically lose, essentially. So yeah, I think between the 2 or 3 experienced heads that we've got, we've obviously lost a couple of those due to injuries as well. So obviously we've got Bassi and Danby, who are 2 of the oldest and experienced heads in the team. They've obviously been on the sidelines with injuries. So it was up to the likes of like me and Deej to really kind of motivate the team and keep them going. I think we've done that really well the past few weeks.
Yeah,
Sorry, go on, Carl.
No, I was just going to say it probably helps having
questions.
Sorry, man. I just wanted to just end on the point that it helps that there's the likes of Deej, Ka, and yourself in that back line to, like Jay said, help the younger players. It's a lot easier to talk to players further up the pitch when you know what's going on in front of you and you can organise well and stuff like that. So I'd imagine that was a massive help. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, there's been times this year where the back four has changed quite a bit, and that's not through kind of Rick's selection process. It's through injuries and things like that. I've missed a few games, and that's meant that, like Deej, for example, has had to move from left back into centre half, and then Rick's then put the centre midfielder into a left back position because she's left footed, and it's then meant that we're not as strong in midfield. And he's had to make some really tough decisions. But you can, for me, my opinion, I think you can really tell when that. When you've got your set back four and you kind of play regular, week in, week out together. I mean, I've played with Kath Hamill at centre half for years now. We know how each other plays. She's a lot faster than me, and she knows that. She's really good in the air, but I'm probably, more of the talker, get stuck in a bit more, love a good slide tackle and things like that. So we complement each other really well. And Deej is obviously really experienced. She's really consistent every game she plays. She's left foot, right foot. She gets up and down that touchline. She puts good crosses in, good free kicks. So I think, especially when you've got kind of like the same, 3 or 4 at the back, it really does help.
Good stuff. And in terms of the actual competition itself, Bridie, how were we? I say we. I feel part of you now. I feel part of we're all Leeds, aren't we, and all that. So exactly. How were we? It's mad, isn't it? When you Leeds, If Leeds could put a badge on anything, and it'd automatically resonate with you. But
don't give them ideas, Luke. I'm still getting emails about absolute shite from the club shop. I don't want any more.
How were we fixed then in terms of sort of odds? Were we favourites? Were you girls their favourites to win that cup, or was it a bit of a shock? I have to be perfectly honest. I don't know that much about the women's leagues and everything. So just to sort of put everybody, everybody who's watching and listening who probably does know a little bit more about them than me, just to sort of put them on a level playing field, really.
I think in terms of the league structures, Luke, I think, we're at the same standard, we're at the same level. It's the 4th tier of women's football. So, because it's not a team that we come up against a lot, we didn't have a lot of information on them. We didn't know really how they played. I think Rick managed to get hold of a couple of snippets and things like that of certain games that they've played in the last few weeks. So we were able to kind of tailor some of our training sessions to, to how they play. But we know that we try to just play our own game, if I'm being completely honest. And we're a pressing team, and we know that if we play how we can play with the intensity that other teams, especially our standard, can't cope with that. And I think that proved it on Sunday. Whether we were the favourites or not, I don't know. As I said before, I think when we have come up against, like the Midlands and stuff like that, we have got some joy. So I would say that the standard is slightly higher in our league. But as I said, in terms of the standard, it's very much the same. But I think, if I'm honest, in the first 10 minutes, you kind of get a bit of a gauge as to how the game's going to go. And you kind of you're almost like, I'm in for a tough game today, or actually, this is ours. And I knew from kind of the first 5 minutes that this was going to be our game. We was going to win this game. So that, it filled me with a bit more confidence, I think, going into the game, because we weren't under like immense pressure. There were a little bit of defending to do, but I much prefer those games where I don't have anything to do, obviously.
Yeah.
Game in front of me.
Sound like Diego Llorente.
I'll take that.
You like to do a Cruyff turn in your own box and then get tackled?
No, I don't think I'd ever try that. No,
you're not quite a Lorenzo yet. Then
Bridie's far too sensible on the ball to be doing silly stuff like that.
Most people
Far
are,
too
to be honest,
sensible.
now.
I've learned the hard way. That's why.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? So like your route to the final, you got you played Foyle and West Brom, and then
Yes.
Southampton. At what point did you feel that you were going to go on and win the cup? After which game did you kind of think, geez, we could actually win this now, you know?
I mean, the West Brom game I didn't play in, but they're a decent team. I think they're mid-table in the league above, and we beat them fairly comfortably. So we thought, okay, we're in here. And then we drew Fylde, who are also in the same league as them. I think they're a little bit lower down, mind. And we beat them quite comfortably as well. So we thought, wait a minute, this is two teams in the league above that we've beaten fairly comfortably. And then I think it was the Southampton game, the game after that. And again, because it's not a team that we come up against often, we don't really know how they play. We don't know much about, the style, the formation or anything like that. And again, we kind of take snippets of information from either, if people have got teammates at the club or they've played against them and, for example, the girls have got friends at Huddersfield Town and they might play against these players week in, week out. They might be able to tell us a bit of information, but we didn't really know what to expect. But if I'm honest, I think we expected a little bit more from Southampton. And I think it was 1-0 at half time. And then again, you're never really safe at 1-0. And then we got that second goal again. And like I said, this year we have kind of improved the way that we've managed games. And as I say, we ended up winning that game 2-0. So again, I think it got to the point where, and I think Bassie said it in one of her interviews last week, we'll literally take on anybody. We know in this league that in this kind of play competition that you're only going to get drawn against, certain teams of a certain level. But like I said, we don't fear anybody because we do think that on our day that we can beat anybody, and we do tend to raise our game when we play against better teams. I think, like I mentioned before, with the Yorkshire Amateurs and things like that, I think sometimes when we play against slightly lower level teams, we do drop a little bit. And I don't know if that's complacency or experience or what, but definitely playing some teams in the league above this year has set us in good stead. And I think as well, playing against Arsenal, obviously what an experience that was. But again, it's just, they're a different class, obviously, the full-time professionals, and it's just relentless. If they score one goal, they'll go again and score 3, 4, 5, 6, and they'll just keep going. They don't think, right, it's 6-0, let's just relax a little bit. They'll just keep going. And that's what we've tried to do this year. And I think, if I'm honest, we've probably not been as ruthless as what we could have done in front of goal this year. And I think, obviously, we lost our star striker in terms of Laura Bartub this year.
I was just about to say that, yeah.
Amy Woodruff's done really well. Abby's scored a few goals. Macy's scored a few goals. But we don't really have an out-and-out striker. And, midfield have chipped in with a couple of goals here and there as well. And I think, if I'm honest, Laura's one of my best friends. And I was worried when Laura left. And I thought, where's the goals going to come from now? Because she was the person that we looked at, week in, week out to score those goals. But like I said, credit to the girls. Everyone has stepped up, and we've won games this year where, we maybe wouldn't have done in the past. But like I said, these games where we have won 2-0, 3-0, when you look at the chances, you think to yourself, how was that not 5 or 6-0? So, and I think, and that's really pleasing to see. I think I'd be more concerned if we weren't creating chances, but the fact of the matter, we are creating chances. We just need to be a little bit more ruthless in front of goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd just like to know how it felt lifting the trophy. I was a very poor amateur sportsman, football, rugby, everything. I played, and we won the odd little thing and that, but never anything to this magnitude. I don't think. Well, no, I definitely didn't. But I mean, just to do it representing not only Leeds United but also the city of Leeds, it's such a good achievement. First of all, Brady, but how were the emotions when when you'd done it? How could you describe that to us?
Do you know what? If I'm honest, I don't think I really anticipated how much of a big deal it was. And you know what? It's obviously lifting the trophy was amazing. It was very heavy, by the way, because I did a post-match interview. I was holding it for a good 10 minutes, and I was like, "Wow, this is heavy." But the celebrations and just everybody behind the board, which said champions or the plate winners and stuff. That's stuff that we see on TV. It's stuff that we see on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. And to actually be in that moment and obviously have the fans just kind of shouting your name and singing, marching on together. And then, to be honest, it was a bit of a flat moment because I think me and a couple of the girls had a bottle of champers and I was like, I'll take charge of this. One of the oldest ones. And it was such like a flop. You can tell we're not used to lifting stuff. And, you know, when you see it on TV and they're all like, whoa, and then they go like this. I think I set the champagne off before the trophy was lifted. And I thought, oh, God, I messed that one up. But do you know what? It was just so good. And like I said, as soon as we lifted the trophy, the first thing we did, you know, straight over to the fans to thank them because, honest to God, like there genuinely is no better fans than Leeds United fans. And I'm not just saying that, but we can play anywhere in the country and there will be Leeds United fans there. And we've turned up to games before and I've said, does anybody know this family? Are they with anybody? And it's like, no, they're local and they've seen that Leeds United are in town and they've come to watch us. But yeah, the fans were so loud, and their fans were quite loud actually, but I think ours just edged it. But we literally all went over to the fans and we're all arm in arm like this, just singing, marching on together. And it was just, I've never had a moment like it, honestly. I mean, the fans come to all of our games, but in a cup final to then win and hear them like literally chanting like that was just unreal.
Are the majority of the girls Leeds fans then, Bridie?
Yeah, majority are.
Yeah,
the majority are. Yeah, although, and I'm going to call her out now in case she does listen.
Go on, get it out there.
I'm going to tell you. So we've got Kath Smith in our team, and she used to play for Barnsley. And obviously, before the game, you stand in the middle and you go 1, 2, 3 Leeds, and she went 1, 2, 3 Barnsley, and we were all
never.
Like, oh. So yeah, she got some stick for that. She got some stick for that. But yeah,
no champagne for her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, but most of them are Leeds fans, to be fair. Yeah, which obviously helps as well.
Yeah,
nice.
It's quite a big deal, you know, winning that cup final. Like it's something that you can build on now. Where do you think your next ambition as a team is going to be? Where do you want to make the next big step forward? Like, what's your ambitions within the squad? Obviously, get a striker first, but
yeah. You know. So obviously, we want to be in the WSL because that's where Leeds United should be. And you know, growing up as a kid, that's where Leeds United was, and it wasn't called the WSL then. It was just the Premier League. But that's where Leeds United was, and that's where they deserve to be. And I think, you know, we've got the backing of the club now. I think, you know, in terms of the recruitment and things like that, I think we've got a bit of work to do in pre-season. I think the last few years I've been at Leeds, we've always been there or thereabouts. For the last probably 4 or 5 years, we've been going for promotion, but we've always just fallen short. And it's always, only one team actually goes up, which obviously makes it really difficult because the room for error is so small. I think you can get away with, you know, losing maybe 2 or 3 games a season or something like that. And I think, like what I was saying before, due to injuries and stuff, you know, we've lost games this year that we probably shouldn't have done. You know, on paper, like a few weeks ago, we lost to Stockport. I can't remember the scores, but we were in the league. I think it was 3-1 or something at half time. And I think they came back to win 4-3. You know, that's an example where we didn't manage the game well, and we know that. We bounced back, I think, the week afterwards, but you can't afford to be losing to those kind of teams. I mean, obviously, we've got Newcastle in our league. They've obviously pumped a lot of money into the ladies in terms of like playing at St James's Park and things like that. You know, when we played them this season, the amount of coaching staff that they've got is just absolutely crazy. And again, like our coaching staff's changed quite a bit this year. So one of the guys, I think he moved to Dubai to do some coaching over there. So, you know, Rick's largely had to do a lot of it himself in terms of the management and the coaching and stuff like that. So he's had a bit of a job on with all those girls. But bless him, he's done a really, really good job. And I think, you know, going into next year, I think we obviously need to have a good kind of recruitment process in terms of like pre-season. And I think just, you know, manage certain games better because, like I said, there's a couple of games where we shouldn't have lost and we did. And I think if we can, like I said, it may or may well not be my last season, but we need to kind of keep the players we've got and maybe just strengthen. I think I've always kind of said that really you don't want to be bringing in players that are similar to what you've got. If that's just another person that's going to sit on the bench and obviously not making impacts, it's not good for them and it's not good for the team. You know, we want to be bringing in players that's basically better than what we've got. And, you know, I've always said as one of the older ones, there's going to be somebody at some point that comes in that's fitter, taller, stronger, faster than me. And, you know, we understand that. So I just try and enjoy every moment while I can. Because it's hard when you're juggling work full time. That's another thing. I haven't got the time to be spending it all day every day in the gym as much as I'd love to. But I work.
How much do you train on that? Just on that, Brady? I mean, obviously, in comparison to the professionals, it won't be as much. But in terms, I mean, there's still got to be a fair level of commitment there, I should imagine.
Oh, absolutely. So we train on a Tuesday and Thursday up at Thorpe Arch. and then obviously play football on a Sunday. But yeah, like you say, when I've been working all day and then I rush home and then I'm ramming pasta down my throat and then I'm driving, to Thorpe Arch, and we used to train 8 till 10 o'clock at night. So I used to get home at like 10:30, and then by the time I'd got in the shower, then I'm back up for work the next day. It's really quite exhausting, and it does take its toll on you. And it's not so bad for some people if they're maybe students or do other types of jobs that's flexible and things like that. But it does depend on what you do as a job. But it's hard work. It's hard work.
Yeah, you must be knackered.
But it's worth it when you come out with something like this.
Of course it is.
Exactly.
It's such an achievement. I've got a few quick fire. Have you got anything else to ask, Cal? I just want to do the quick fire 5. It's nothing too untoward.
No, not at all. No, it's grand. I'll just have a quick chat about the league and then we can go from there. But go for it there now. Go talk about your
He's going rogue again, Carl. He's doing that thing.
I'm going rogue. I didn't tell anybody I was going to do this, but every time I get a guest on Friday, I just think of 5 quick questions in my head and just ask you outright, and you've just got to give me your first answer that comes into your head. You don't have to answer if you feel uncomfortable. So the first one first. Who is your biggest idol?
Kelly Smith and Sue Smith for the ladies, definitely.
Great stuff. And who has influenced you most?
That's a good question. I'd probably say my dad. I know that's like a really cheesy thing, but he played rugby at like a decent standard. Right. And I think I always kind of wanted to be the sports person in the family, and that's what I did. And when my little brother was born, he wanted him to be a rugby player, and he just wasn't. He didn't have a sporty body in his body, so I had to fly the flag for the sports film. So yeah, I'll probably say my dad.
Good stuff. Leeds United to win the cup, or Leeds ladies to win the cup, or LUFC women?
That is a harsh question, Luke.
And hey, we're all here for it. We're all
right. What
you
kind
can
of
say
cup
Leeds
are we
United
talking?
now, Leeds men, because you've already done it. So if you just say Leeds men, you're probably on the winning side.
Yeah, we'll go Leeds men then, because we've won some. So yeah, we'll go Leeds men.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Who is your best friend in the team? Who's not even necessarily best friend. Who are you closest to?
I would probably say Kanisha Underdown.
Lovely. And then last question for you is night out with the girls celebrating winning the cup, or night in with your cats?
Night in with the cats all day.
That was good.
No, I must admit, do you know what? We don't go out very much as a team, obviously. And when we got back to Elland Road the other day, we went straight into Headingley. Like I said, we were all in as football stuff, but I had a bit of a, what would you call it, a wardrobe malfunction, because I sat on a banana on the coach. So I had to wear some shorts, which didn't go with the tracksuit, and I looked a bit of a numpty going into Headingley, but I was just kind of like, what the hell? We're out here celebrating. And actually, a little funny story. So there was karaoke on in one of the bars in Headingley, and I went over to the guy and I said to the DJ, and I said, look, will you play Marching On Together? And he was like, no. He said, I can't stand Leeds United. I said, all right. I said, well, who do you support then? And he said, Bradford City.
Oh,
come on. I said, look, we've won a trophy today. There's a lot of the girls in here today. And he said, no. He says, I'm not going to. He says, and even if I did like Leeds, I still won't play it, because I don't like singing chants and stuff when we're in a bar. So I thought, fair enough. So anyway, the next thing, the girls put the name down to sing some kind of cheesy song. I don't know what Girls Aloud or something. So we all get on this stage and we're all singing, and all of a sudden I just went rogue. I did a you, Luke. I went rogue, and I took the mic and I started chanting Marching On Together. The whole place went wild. Everybody joined in, because bearing in mind we're in Leeds, and everybody went crazy. And I looked over at the DJ, because I thought, is he going to rip this microphone out of my hand? But I think he thought, I'm not going to mess with all these Leeds.
So you made a life decision right there, that guy.
Oh, it was amazing. I thought he tried taking his microphone off me. But yeah, I think
one of the girls just stay out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let people do what they're doing. Don't get killed.
Fantastic.
Look, Brady, I was just going to ask you a little bit about the rest of the season, but you're. I don't think anyone's going to catch Durham at this stage. I think there's who's below them. There's Newcastle below them by 5 points and something like that. Is your aim next year to go out and only lose 2 or 3 games and try and get promoted after this win now at the weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, if one of those teams goes up, then that's one less team for us to, I suppose, try and beat next year. But it all depends on how other teams recruit as well, because like Barnsley, for example, a couple of years ago, they were top of the league, and I think it was just due to COVID that they didn't go up. And then the season after, they're then in the relegation zone because they've lost a load of players. And that's the thing about this kind of like level is people do move around teams, so you just don't know who's going to be in the top kind of 2 or 3 next year, but guaranteed it will be Leeds United because, like I said, we are always there or thereabouts. And yeah, looking forward to obviously next season. No matter, I don't know what role that might bring for me. I'm hoping I might go into a little bit of commentary or something like that. We shall see.
Lace your boots up again one more time and get them.
I don't know. After the game on Sunday, I thought I'm too old for this now. And Sue Smith said to me, "No, you've got a few years left in you yet."
There you go. If she's saying that to you, then you definitely must have.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, well, you look at Zlatan coming back and playing international at whatever. Is he 41 or something?
It must be about that now. Yeah,
God.
I think he's in
Something like
around.
that.
I feel old as it is, Luke, so that's not happening.
Absolute pleasure meeting you, Bridie. I nearly called you Hannon then. I thought, I can't call her by a surname. Hannon! I know, it's been a real nice to get somebody on a Tuesday. Not have to look at these two, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, congratulations. You should be really proud of those achievements. I think everybody affiliated with Leeds, and even, I mean, you can see in the comments here, everybody who watches usually congratulating you as one of their own. So it's a fantastic achievement, not just for yourselves, but also for everybody at Leeds, I feel.
Yeah, no, appreciate all your support, and thank you ever so much for all your lovely comments, everyone.
No, it's been great having you on, Bridie, and it's been good to catch up with you, and hope everything goes well for you in the near future.
You can go and have fun on you tell everyone where you're going tomorrow. Tonight you're in like a cheap B&B, and where are you going to be tomorrow?
She's at the Ritz-Carlton tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's on with Emma Jones and all the rest of the LUFC guys.
Oh, yeah. Tomorrow afternoon, I'm having to dip out of work for an hour. I had to sweet talk my manager, so it should be good. I'll give you a shout out, guys. Don't worry.
Thanks very much.
Just a quick question for you before you go.
Go on.
Was Carl actually any good as a coach? Because we didn't even believe he really was a coach at one point.
Honestly, I loved having Carl as a coach. I thought he was really good. Yeah, I'm not just saying that. Hence why we
Sorry, go on.
I just said hence why we are still friends, because he was very good.
Thanks, Bridie. Well done. I'll sort you out again, yeah.
I'll send you my bank details.
I will do it. Don't worry about it.
Perfect, Bridie. Lovely to meet you. Thanks ever so much for taking the time out this Thursday, Tuesday even. Thursday, I wish. Yeah, all the best for the rest of the season. Obviously, we'll all keep a keen eye out and hopefully get you back on as in the future sometime when we're celebrating another cup or another win or whatever else.
Who knows? My pleasure, guys. Thank you.
Take care, Bride.
See you later. Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
What a guest there. A bit different to have a nice fit lady to look at rather than you two's ugly mugs.
Well,
I can't argue with that, mate.
Yeah, well, let's be honest.
Can't argue with that.
Audrey's blushing.
I
thought it was going to be Luke that asked that question, if I'm being perfectly honest. I thought he needed to ask it.
I couldn't allow her to go without just verifying whether you're any good, Carl,
I'm sure he was great. I hope he was a better of a coach than he was a player, though. I've seen him play 5-a-side.
Well, like Arsene Wenger did say it before, like you never had to be a good footballer to be a good coach. You just had to know what you were doing, that's all.
Yeah, good point.
Right
then. Anyway, we've got a lot to talk about, Carlos.
Yeah, we have indeed. Yeah, what have we got coming up? We've got, I just want to, just one thing just to start off with before we move on to the next section. Keep an eye out on our socials over the next couple of days and weeks and stuff. We've got a silent auction for a shirt giveaway. It's been donated by a friend of the pod, and we're going to raffle it off, and all of the proceeds will be going to a charity of our choice to be announced in the tweet.
We know it is. It's actually going to Andy's Man Club.
You got it right.
Okay, now you got it right.
As per the guy. Look, a short story. The guy who's donated it is somebody who watches the show, who tunes in regular, who is real friendly with us. Really, really nice guy. And he's donated a few bits of sports memorabilia. So do keep your eyes peeled. It will all be raised. The money will be going directly to charity. And yeah, really, really nice of him. Some lovely bits. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled on social media. We'll try and get something on one of the pods as well about how you can, if you don't have us on Twitter or whatever else, how you can put a bid in as well for that. So yeah, Andy's Man Club.
He's got it right. The reason I said he's got it right, he has absolutely fucking turfed it every time he's tried to say it, and he's got it right today. So well done, man. I raise a glass to you. Fair play. That's
cheers.
Coming from Carl, the master of mispronunciation, you know.
Names, man. Names.
Hey?
It's not the English language, it's names.
Listen, I'll tell you a story about Carl now. We went and did a quiz in Leeds, a football quiz. He claims to be an Italian, and he could not remember the name of the Italian.
Gianluca Pagliuca. I will never fucking forget it for the rest of my fucking life, because you won't let me fucking forget it for the rest of my life.
Hey, you'll never live that down. So I bet you'd remember Shea Given's name, wouldn't you?
Who?
He was had your bread's buttered. Anyway, let's talk about this bloody bomb hoax.
Yeah,
it wasn't a hoax, was it?
Well, no,
it wasn't.
I've got no idea what it actually was.
I don't know what. Well, apparently there's rumors going around that it was a bomb hoax, or it was.
No, it wasn't a hoax. It was credible. It was a credible.
So that's what I was going to say.
Credible threat.
Yeah. Well, like, I don't know what to make of that at all. I think Wolves are just being a bit pissy about it, if I'm being perfectly honest. You know.
I thought it was this guy.
It's Wolves.
They've been over. What?
But then I found out he was only 20 years old, and that guy, if he's 20, I tell you what, he's been on paper round with you, Carl.
He's had a worse paper round than me, man. I gave him more papers.
He's seen more dogs than cats.
Oh,
man,
no,
seriously though, it's not a laughing matter. I'm actually looking forward to finding out a little bit more about it, because it sounds like there's some form of credibility there when they found something. And they've arrested somebody, so they know who's done it. It's done through social media. You know, they had to evacuate Elland Road. The ticket office, everywhere in between.
They might have found the plutonium fuel rod underneath the Chernobyl children's crash down the side of the cheese wedge.
That wouldn't surprise me in the slightest. I when that was announced first, I thought it might have been something to do with the crash, because of obviously young children or whatever. But then when the bomb scare came out, I was like, Jesus Christ! So
yeah,
that was a bit mad. Like, does anyone in the comments know anything about it? Have they heard anything that we may not have heard?
Bully says it was Gilly.
All right, Bully. All right, yeah. That could be, a good shout. Who's got some time in him? Not the hair, though. Lacking in the hair.
If Luke had hair, he'd look like Super Mario.
I'll tell you a story. I went to my barber. Believe it or not, I've got a barber. I went to my barber. When was it? What day are we on now? Tuesday.
Still Sunday. Tuesday.
Sunday was it? I went. Anyway, this weekend I went to the barber, and I was sat there, and he was like shaving. I have the hot towel and the razor, the flat. What do they call him? Bare blade thing. Anyway, yeah, cutthroat. That's it. Yeah, he was cutting through, and he like my hair grows all around the back and side, and it's just bald and patchy on top. And he goes, Turkish fella, really really nice guy. He goes, "You have lovely hair." And I looked up at him, and I thought he was taking the piss out of me. No, seriously, I thought he was taking the piss out of me. He goes, I thought he says, you have lovely hair. He says, I know. And then in his next breath, I know a man in London who could fix it for you.
Yeah. You wouldn't have to fly all the way to Turkey. He's opened up his own shop down south.
So anyway, it's not really a good story. It's better than the Hal Robson canoe.
Look, anything's better than that Hal Robson canoe one, man. Jesus.
I definitely agree with that one. Fucking hellfire.
So, so we don't really know much about what happened. But do you think is it going to make a massive difference now to security for the next game against Palace we have at home?
I wouldn't have thought so. It's Leeds United. We'll just
Have you
have some
seen that-
bloke who randomly pats a couple of people down every 5 or 6
Have you
people.
seen that video from
Everyone else
the
goes
steward who does it, and he goes like that? He just goes like that with his eyes closed. They don't even do that at Elland Road. They don't even do that. They just stand there talking to each other. I think it will. I think it will have an impact.
Yeah.
And then when you try and go in and the gate fucking jams and don't let you through, they just look at each other like,
call yourself a fan.
They can't even get in through your own turnstile, the stadia. Go on, Luke. You were going to say there.
I do think it will cause some issues, and I think they've got to take it a little. I mean, I know they've got the dogs and everything there, but are they smelling for drugs? Are they smelling for explosives? I honestly don't know what them dogs do. They've just got a permanent cold. They're just sniffing all the time. But it's cheers, mate. Mark, Luke, that Barnett is unretrievable, but. But yeah, I just think it will. I think we'll have a bit of an headache. We'll see over the next couple of weeks, and it'll die down again, and nothing will be done, and then it'll go back to how it was.
it'll be like COVID passes all over again.
Oh God, remember when you had to go register before the game, before you went in, and I'd get a band on to show you'd already been and told them who you were and all that. That was absolute chaos.
Crazy, wasn't it?
It's fucking daft.
Talking of next games. And how we're going to go towards them. Let's have a bit of a chat about the situation we're put in with arguably our 3 most impactful players not going to be available.
Yeah.
Available.
And available. But I mean, it all stems from this shitty fucking absolute dog crap international break for qualifiers towards the end of the season. Why not do it at the end of the season? Why not wait 12 weeks? Not even 12 weeks now, is it? It's 2 months. It's 8 weeks. Wait till the end of the season.
Our season's potentially been knackered by international games.
Again, didn't we lose Calvin last year as well? Like when he came back from an international, I think Raf came back with a knock from Brazil. He was out for a couple of games, and they really are just pointless. Like they should just scrap international football altogether. Like it's fucking
end of the season. Just do it.
Like, what if they got to play? What in these actual Euro qualifiers now? How many games? They'll only have played 2 games between now and the start of next season. Yeah. So what's the point? Like, why not just get to the end of the season and, like you were saying, just play 3 weeks where you play the 2 or 3 games, 1 a week or one every fucking couple of days, and just do it that way and get them out of the way, and then they've got recovery time over summer.
They could just not have this 2-week break, finish the season that 2 weeks earlier if they wanted, and then play them. Yeah. And nobody would give a shit.
I don't think anyone gives a shit anyway, to be fair. Like, I think it's just they're all a waste of time, really. Like,
I mean, the worst
crap.
The worst case, the worst thing that's come out of it is obviously the news that our friend 29 that broke to us this morning before anybody knew it about Tyler. That's the biggest blow, albeit. Oh, hello. Is he ready to? Hello. Who's this?
Whoa.
Hello.
Looks right. Pleased with himself.
How we doing?
Yeah.
Well done.
You've got your light. You've got your vanity light in the picture.
Hey, you should see my new lip balm and everything, lads. Hey. All going on tonight. Can't have it too strong. You've seen the size of my head; it'll bloody blind you all. Like
oh, you said you'd been training, mate.
Behave yourself. I'm losing, trying to lose some timber, get this dad bod in condition for all babes on bloody Pathella Beach next fucking day.
You should be doing that 400-mile walk.
Wales on beach in Wales.
Fuck that. All fucking babes on North Wales beaches, lads. All with the fucking Liverpool kits and shit on.
Fucking hell.
Hey, we may have some Welsh fans. Let's not go
I'm sorry.
There, you know.
Sorry. We're just talking about the international break, Smarty, and how shit it is, and the fact it's cost us 3 players.
Yeah.
So they could play at the end of the season, couldn't they? Knock these 2 weeks off, finish earlier, get them games out of the way. Our season could be fucking wrecked now because of this.
I thought Tyler got injured before internationals, did he?
He did.
He got it, yeah.
He did, yeah.
Wolves game, but they didn't know he was going to have surgery. They thought didn't they say 29 said they thought they were going to avoid it? Like so.
I've seen something that it was it restrictive surgery did they call it, or basically they didn't have to do what they thought. The full thing, which I don't know whether they're doing precautionary, non-intrusive. That's it, and whether that means they're going to try
surgery.
Pardon?
Is that like keel surgery or something?
I have no clue. I have no clue.
I bet you do that with a towel after you just got out of the shower.
I've got no idea what that fucking means, mate. But you crack on.
Bit of keel surgery.
Sake, man.
Go on, Luke.
I just don't know. I don't know if that's a temporary fix because we're going to try and get him fit as quick as we can for the running, or if that's the way it gets fixed anyway. I mean, a hamstring's never good anyway at any level. If anyone's ever pulled an hamstring, it's not great, and it's never. Not going to be right again for at least I would say probably 4 weeks at the best anyway. Even if you've just sort of pulled it. So it's a weird one. And I don't really understand what again, Jay, I agree with you. I don't know what non-intrusive potentially means. I mean, it could mean have they not operated? What's non-intrusive? Have they just done something? I mean, they'd have to if it's called surgery. I assume non-invasive. Is that what it was, Andy? Sorry,
non-invasive. Excuse me.
I don't know what that means either, so it doesn't change anything for me.
I mean, they're wonderful, these medical people, but I don't think it's that good. Like, unless Weston carries fucking one of his magic Harry Potter ones around or something. I have no idea.
Expelliarmus.
Yeah. So
somebody just turned Jay into a dwarf.
You're a fucking idiot.
So who do we think is the biggest loss out of the three that's gone? I know they're all big losses, but who can be covered better in a position?
Wöber, surely.
Wöber's mine.
Wöber, surely.
Yeah.
I'm scared it all falls apart without Wöber.
Yeah.
Well, it does. I mean, it's not so much. We've got a replacement for Adams in McKennie. We've got a replacement for Nonto and Cini coming back, or Somerville or Harry. We've got options. Yeah. You look at your centre back, and you've got to think who's coming in for him. We've got Pascal would be my first choice, but I would imagine because of the leadership qualities of Wöber, it would probably be Liam Cooper. Now, Liam's not played for how long? It just doesn't sound. I don't know. That's what scares me most. Pascal Struijk has played better at left back than he has at centre back for starters. For us, and he's not. I mean, he wasn't great. He did a job for us there, but you look at what Max Wöber has brought to that team in terms of sort of solid. We just looked so much more competent and comfortable. Cox looked a different player beside him compared to Llorente and Cooper, who's partnered previously. He could for me, and I'm hoping. I saw did he put something on Instagram or something saying little injury or something like a little knock or something like that, which to me would suggest it's not that bad, but they've sent him back from international duty back to be assessed at Leeds. So that doesn't scream little knock to me. That's all. I mean, I might be reading between the lines here. I could be completely wrong.
It could just be a case of, it's a knock, as he says, and he's obviously not going to play in their next game, so they may as well send him back.
Cock knock.
Possibly.
I'm kind of hoping that's the same with Willie Nonto, to be fair. Like they were saying initial assessment it was a sprained ankle. So
yeah, I mean he walked on it, didn't he? So
yeah. So it might not be as bad, but it looked more precautionary taking him off than it being quite serious. I think so. Well, I'd hope so anyway.
Here's a question for you related to this. I'll let you read that out, Luke. Go.
Michael Gotzer said Austria have stated that the Wöber injury is nothing too serious and he was sent back only precautionary. Thank you, Michael Gotzer.
Cool. There we go. Is it possible that this
Michael's got facts?
Decent timing as far as these things go? Because we've got a game coming up anyway that we didn't expect to get much out of, and we may get them back for the games after that.
And it would be very much like Leeds to go there with a depleted squad and get something.
Look at Liverpool as a prime example.
Exactly.
Under a shit manager.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
For me personally, I never want to give up on getting something out of a game ever. But if it meant having them players back fit for the two games that I think are most important, I'd take. I'd take that.
I think you're right, Jay. I think the next 2 games after Arsenal are probably the most vital out of the 3 that we've got.
If we had Palace or Forest next, then I'd be gutted about this. But as it is, it's a game where we're going to struggle in anyway.
I don't think Cooper's that bad of a player, is he really?
No.
I don't say that. It's just game time.
He's not going to be sharp, is he?
I know what you're saying. Obviously, he's been missing for quite some time, but I don't think it's that bad. It's
Would we look at
back with Tyler that I'm going to be a little bit.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think they'd consider putting Montero in front of him? Now they couldn't, could they?
He's not even been on bench, has he?
Yeah, he's been on the bench. Yeah, and he's been playing well, captaining Portugal under-18s, I think.
I don't see it, but you never know.
A bit of a stretch, that, isn't it? Surely you'd expect to see Strike there instead of.
You say that, but we played Cresswell against was it Spurs? West Ham, sorry. Yeah, but he had an absolute blinder.
Yeah, but and also we don't know what Grazia might do in this sort of situation yet, because we've not seen it from him.
Which is great because neither do the opposition managers on
exactly.
Marsh, where they knew exactly how to counter what we were going to do from the fucking first whistle.
Yeah.
I think just to go back to Jay's point, is it a good time? I think if you were going to get these injuries, and when you consider we've got returning from injury in Sinistera, Archie Gray, and Cooper's obviously probably 100% now where he was playing. We have got like for like swaps. It's not like we're going to have to be playing Struijk in centre defensive midfielder or playing somebody, a striker out wide. And it's nice that we've got plenty of different options, albeit some of it youth, Garby and Archie Gray, I've already said, but I'd like saying his name because I like the name. But yeah, we have got options, haven't we? It's usually previously we'd be looking for square pegs round all situation and trying to. We wouldn't be able to guess the team, the lineup, and it'd be something like, I don't know, bloody Bamford would be playing out on the left or something stupid. I know he's never done that, but that was just a wild example.
I think Cooper will come back and have an absolute blinder, especially now he's got some direct competition for his place.
I think he's the type of player that you want in a dressing room, certainly. He's a natural leader. And that's why I feel he would be the natural swap if Warber isn't. Yeah, if Warber was out, that's why I feel he's both left-footed, and that's why I feel he would. But Struik's left-footed as well. See you later, Cal. We're hostess with the mostest has just decided to fuck right off. So in answer to your question, if it was going to happen, is now a good time? Yeah, but would we really want it towards the end of the season when we've got this stupid running of 11 cup finals that we have to start picking some more points up from?
Yeah.
I've got OCD, so I'm gonna move you all.
Jesus. You're not wrong there. We do need to start picking up more points, but I mean we've done all right up to now with Grazia, so I'm hopeful. I hope we can shit out something from Arsenal, but I'm not holding my breath.
Is anyone going down to Arsenal?
Couldn't get a ticket.
No, I tried getting some. Yeah, a few times. It's all right. It's easy to get to. It's easy to get to.
Dancing bloody aisles, man. There's that much jumping room. Yeah. Not like in bloody cattle shed in South Stand. Like you literally stood on top of each other. It's horrible.
When I last went, I think it was last season. Yeah, it was last season when I went, and all their what do they call them? The something ultras or whatever they called, the Leytonstone. No, I don't know what they are.
Anyway, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they were quite close. That's it. They were quite close to me, and they were singing "Twist and Shout."
Did you join in?
I did.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
That might not have been them. That might have been Jeremy Corbyn's Barbie Army.
But yeah, no, seriously, true story. They were singing. They were absolutely getting. It wasn't when Elland got sent off. I think it must have been in the cup. Did we play him in the cup last season? Did they knock us out of a cup?
Yeah, they did knock us out of a cup. Yeah.
Promotion year.
Yeah.
We played down there in the pale blue colour.
We did, yeah.
Didn't we?
That was a game.
I definitely went last year as well anyway. But Yeah, it's. I mean, it's all right down there. It's not bad, but it's very London type stadium, isn't it? You know, all the same.
I'm shocked at that.
People then.
You know why? You know
it and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just. I don't know. There's something about going down there.
We're in London. That's the fucking difference.
That is the difference. Cheers.
It's just proper
Cheers,
full
Colin.
of tourists in it. People walking around with shit under their arm, and it's just weird, isn't it?
It is. It's a different world.
Modern football, isn't it? And it's an absolute proper doctor's waiting lounge as well. You can hear a fucking mouse fart in there. Like I say, when we were down there, all you could hear is Leeds, and there were like people filming us. You know, you could see Arsenal fans filming us. It's like, oh my god, what are these people?
Well, they used to call Highbury the Highbury Library, didn't they?
Yeah, the degenerate Northerners bringing their scum down with them.
That's right. Just scream up north, and so are we.
A comment from Paul Brennan. Javi will work something out. It's our 3 matches at Elland Road, 3 on the spin. That's going to be important. Hopefully 7 points out of the 3 matches at Elland Road. I think he's gone. This is the first time he's had a bar. Maybe how many went out for international duty? Maybe 5. He's had basically the whole squad to work with now over the last 2 weeks. I'll be honest with you. I'm very confident going into the next 4 or 5 games. We beat Liverpool. They're playing shit. They're rattled.
All right, Carl. Don't start cursing.
They've just fucking tonked Scum 7-0.
Fucking hell.
They've been so fucking
but it was
inconsistent.
shit week after though, weren't they?
Yeah, they've been absolute bollocks. Like, so why
Didn't
can't
they get beat by fucking Bournemouth or something afterwards?
Yeah, they got beat 1-0 by Bournemouth. So it's
crazy.
Come on,
they're just waiting. They're waiting to players like Chelsea were. Like we kickstarted their season. They're fucking doing great now. Liverpool are the same thing.
Chelsea
Good question,
were lucky
Michael.
to win that game.
I don't know what Javi's record is against Arsenal. I'll be honest. If anyone can pull that up while he was at Watford, that'd be very kind. See how he got on
We
down
don't
there.
know anyone who does that sort of statty kind of thing. Isn't it?
Who are you getting at?
Stats.
Ah,
the non-existent man, the myth, the legend.
he's more of a myth and legend than Pat Sharp. Get in bed. Sorry, I thought I'd muted. Sorry.
That's who you look like, Smarty. Is Pat Sharp.
Pat Sharp, he does.
It never fucking hit me
if he had blonde, long hair.
If you had blonde hair, you'd be looking like Pat Sharp.
I know you're trying to obviously,
obviously not. Come on,
That's smart.
You haven't got the look of him.
Pat Sharp. You do have the look of Pat Sharp.
Not bad looking lad.
Get one of them weights. There you go.
Get the old drill on mullet going down back.
Yeah. We get you one from some costume shop and just see what the crack is. If it's close, that's your Halloween costume.
Get a picture up.
Yeah, you can get some fun.
Come on, Jay, leave that with you. Get a picture of Pat Sharp.
Get a picture of Pat Sharp with his quality mullet.
Come on.
Going into Arsenal anyway. How are we fancying ourselves down there?
You gotta get me a pair of twins though. If you're calling me Pat Sharp, Cal.
A pair of twins, so 4.
Pair of twins. Whatever. I'm not greedy.
Pair of twins and a go-kart.
I'll share.
Go-kart for 4 twins. Seriously though, are we going down there? I'm expecting us to get battered. I'll be honest. I think they're too good Arsenal this season. Yeah, man. I think we'll. No, I don't. I mean, I don't think we'll get hammered 6 or 7-0. I think we'll get outplayed in every single department. I think we'll. I still think we'll lose as well. But I don't think we'll get. I don't think. Yes,
it's there. It's 100%.
Absolutely belting hairstyle.
Look at that
class.
The name of the pod is when Pat Sharp joined us tonight.
Nothing to do with just having a Leeds United Women Cup winner on. We'll Pat Sharp. Yeah,
we'll gloss over
that. Yeah, no, I think I just think they're too good, man. I've watched them a few times this season, and they are really, really good this season. You know, they've got some really good players. One good thing that fucks me off about, in fact, I'm going to save it for the Autumn or Bitter, but yeah, we'll come on to that later. But yeah, I just feel they're too good, too classy, too slick, and I think they'll open us up. They've got some, players in form, Martinelli, Saka, and yeah, I expect it to be a long afternoon.
Do you know how you keep them two boys quiet? Is you just mark Trossard and you mark Odegaard, and you just make sure that they can't actually play ball. Once you put them two in a box and you keep them quiet, they struggle to get it out wide to Saka and Martinelli. Then
I tell you what, you were wasted coaching Leeds ladies. Absolutely wasted. Well, you should be on. You should be coaching us.
I was sober all the time, man. What are you talking about?
He's a ventriloquist now as well.
Took a toll on you, didn't it?
Yeah. I think if you keep them quiet, that's their output. That's where they go from.
It's like Luke and Jay either side of me. Look.
Oh Jesus!
Oh fucking hell! Yeah, I don't think
they've got injuries.
Yeah,
they have injuries too.
Michael.
Who, the twins?
To tell you what, back in the 80s, yeah,
They might have something smart, isn't he?
I think, I think if we can keep them quiet, we could get a lot of joy out of them, out of that game on Saturday.
Yeah,
so, I think so. Yeah, I think if you can keep those two quiet, it limits the way that they play football, because they seem to like to build through those two in midfield at the moment, and I think if you keep them quiet, there's a good chance that we can eliminate that threat.
It's an absolutely belting name, is that?
I'm sorry, Coleslaw, but I think Harrison and Firpo on Saka. Firpo's getting a yellow card straight away.
Mind you,
probably
Saka or Firpo done all right against Rashford, like. Didn't get a yellow card until maybe like the 70-odd minute or something, where he had to do a serious, like, I need to take him out.
Yeah, I know,
this is a great point.
That made me happy when he did that, though. I'm glad he's got
This is a great point. I think we played arguably the best we've played this season at home to Arsenal, and we still got beat. I think that's arguably our best performance.
Brilliant.
Albeit we didn't get the result. We didn't even score. I think we lost. Did we lose 1-0 that day?
1-0, yeah.
Yeah. But we played absolutely brilliant. Like the stuff we were playing, and that was almost peak Marsh, wasn't it? That was the best we ever saw out of Marsh's styles, out of his setup and everything.
It wasn't very good, like. But even Arteta came out in his post-match interview and said that up to that point, that was the toughest game he's had as an Arsenal manager. So, I put that down to the players more so than anything Marsh told him to.
You won't give him anything, will you, Carl? You won't give him anything.
I give him a kick in the stones. That's about the size of it. But I'm not giving that man credit for anything. I can't. He was absolutely riding on the coattails of keeping us up last season. But anyway.
American Hockey Day.
I'm saying American Hockey Day. That's very good. So yeah, Smarty, what do you reckon, man? Like, you'll probably be in Wales and not watching it, and I'll end up being on fucking BNC with you for it or some shit like that.
So, you know what? I think it's you and me, Carl. I think it's you and
swinging
me.
Season is upon us.
You got your pampas grass out.
Oh man, the swinging season.
Pineapples turned upside down. No, I fancy. I don't think, like Luke said, I don't think even if we do lose, I don't think we'll get absolutely dicked. But I fancy probably putting up a decent performance. We don't actually know what as players we've got available to us, but if it is just a knock to Nonto and to Verba, then hopefully we've got them in our among star ranks or whatever. And I fancy a good game. I think it'll be a good game. I think we'll bang up for it. Fresh after a couple of internationals or whatever, they'll be probably expecting a nice easy game. But I think we'll go down and give it to them. I reckon there's a few people that have said we've got a big draw and stuff. But I fancy us for the point, definitely.
Yeah. Well, let's hold off on the old predictions now, just at the moment, and we'll get to that.
I wouldn't do that.
I wasn't going to predict. Jay, you're smirking away to yourself down there. What are you thinking about, or what are you reading?
Dinner.
No, I've had that. I'm just hoping that we put up a fight, and it's one of them things where you're just hoping for a miracle, kind of. I don't feel like we're going to go there and be awesome. I'm worried. I'm just hoping we can grind something out. There's been a lot of fight and a lot of spirit in the team recently, so hopefully that shines through. But they're going to have to be better than they were at Wolves. I know we won that game, but the fucking passing and stuff, the amount of pressure that we put ourselves under by giving them the ball back, and if we do that against Arsenal, we're going to get absolutely dicked.
I just want to make a point there. We are far more organised, and this is why I feel that we may get something down there. This is where my delusion of whatever the case may be is coming from, is because we are organised and we do look like he's come in and plugged holes where they needed plugging with actual tactics rather than trying to flood an area. So that's kind of why I think we're onto something good there.
You're expecting to see more of a Brighton performance than anything else, then you would say?
Yes, I'd say so. Brighton, Newcastle type performances.
Yeah, cutting out the obvious passes for them. Choosing when to press rather than always pressing, I think, is a good way to go about it.
Yeah, like he knows. I mean, we saw it against Brighton. It's a classic that he's willing to let them have the ball. He's willing to let them sit, with it and let them have it as much as they want, as long as we don't lunge in and make silly mistakes. If we maintain our discipline and we stay, within our ranks and play the football we need to do. Hopefully, he's drilled him enough this week to say, look, don't fall for the traps that Brighton tried to get us with, and I think we'll be all right. I think we've got enough about us to get some out of this.
Yeah,
definitely.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. I'm worried, but I hope so.
I just think the best. No, I know. They're the best side in the league, aren't they? This season they've shown that they are the best side. They're at the top of the league for a reason. The stats don't lie, but it's not an easy place to go anyway. We don't always do great traveling down to London. There's just a lot against us from here, but on the flip side of the coin, we have seen how adaptable we can be, and how we can sort of match up against the better side. So I won't be pissed off if we lose, because I think I expect us to lose. But providing the performances there to take into the important games next week, Forest, Palace, they're our game. They're the games we need to be winning this season. They're the 6 pointers at this stage of the season.
Teams
really, as well.
Around us, those are the ones that we need to kill off.
Yeah, definitely. If we can pick something up at Arsenal, fucking brilliant, absolutely. But we've got to be realistic. If we're probably going to have our three most influential players out as well, realistically, they're probably not going to be playing. So yeah, I think I'd be more than happy. I'd snap your hand off for a point, but I still see us getting beaten, but not beaten, hammered like Scum got hammered, by Liverpool. I think we'll show a little bit of something, a little bit of class, and still trouble them at times as well. I think.
I don't think we have a hammering in us anymore at the moment. I don't think we have that game where we go into it, we're like, Jesus Christ, like when Scum got beaten. They've supposedly got 7 out, Mark Jones has said. Right, okay, let's keep an eye on that one.
Let's hope so.
It's not like
but I don't think... Yeah, but it depends on who's out as well. Like that's a massive thing. If it's players that
they've
are
quite a new squad, aren't they? They've got enough players to come in and fill in for those that are injured. I mean, it's a classic Chelsea / they don't have as much squad depth as Man City or whatever, but they've still got bloody hell of a lot more than the average team, haven't they? Arsenal, Christ.
What the fuck?
What?
Scotland have beaten Spain. Still.
Wow.
Go on, lads. Up the fucking
That's that bleeding stuff, that.
Jesus Christ.
That's not bad going. How long ago was that coming?
That was just now.
Just now.
Brilliant. I'm chuffed for him. I think that, generally speaking, English people don't mind if Scotland do all right, as long as it's not against us. When it's the other way around, whoever we're playing, they want
us.
Yeah. Same with Wales.
Funny, innit?
It's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Shall we get into the predictions, Carl? Are you ready for it?
I am ready for it, yeah.
You sure?
Carl,
I think so, yeah.
Auto know better predictions.
Go. So, first fan with the prediction for Arsenal. Go. Luke, I'm going to come to you first, man.
You're not, mate. You're going to start with Jay, because we go from who's the highest in the league.
Oh, yes.
Is it?
And only
that.
Fucking first I've heard of that. But anyway, go on.
That's a new rule.
Because you keep dodging pods.
That is a new rule.
It's a new rule. It's because
Luke
wants to try and
pod dodging too, Carl. Even I knew
that. Nah, it's
At least watch them back, Carl. Jesus.
Come on. I've been on them and no one's ever said that. But anyway.
I think Gilly floated the idea recently, but I didn't know it was actually agreed on. But
Rob's had a bit of a taste of my disease here. He's going 3-0 Arsenal. Jabez.
Oh, sorry.
Well, it's a good job
right,
Mark
fine.
Jones got in there before him, so it 1-1.
I think there's
Danny Rumsey got there before Mark.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Oh,
And somebody actually mentioned it.
But it doesn't matter because the score's the same.
Yeah.
So 1-1 then, yeah.
Podger the Dodger.
Right, okay. So, we'll go with Jay
Podger.
then, seeing as your top.
Okay, I'm just going in at 1-1 because I'm hoping to get something, but I don't see us scoring more than one.
So who's next in the
I think
league
we'll
then?
defend well, though, so...
I think
1-1,
it's you, Carl, if I'm honest.
All right, okay. Well, Carl, I'll go with... I'll go 2-1 Leeds.
Did you just call yourself Carl?
Yeah. Well, it's not dodger in there, so...
Congrats. Yeah, exactly, Solanum. Exactly. If Carl didn't dodge pods, he wouldn't have a new rule.
This has never actually come up in conversation, like on the pod.
Carl,
It's just because Gilly's on.
Mate.
I think it happened on the last one.
I actually do work for, during the day and don't get to check the pod account. And there'd be 80, 90 messages in there. And it's just like, what's the fucking point? A lot of them is just Jay being slagged for being short, Luke for being bald, and Smarty for having a massive forehead. Like, so what do you do with that? Like, I'm not going to read 89 messages
That's pretty
of that,
much
like.
the group chat, isn't it?
That's just literally it. Like, and the odd Audrey, where the fuck are you thrown in for good measure?
Audrey,
But,
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Willem Dafoe. Yeah. Who got an arseways the last day anyway? Or was it today?
It's not the case, so I'm not defensive.
Yes, he is.
He is proper defensive.
So what have you gone, Carl?
I've gone 2-1. Leeds.
I'm going 2-0 Gunners. Gunnosaurus at the back post with the header in the 89th minute.
That's how I know it's not going to happen. Schmarte?
Congrats, Emma. It was mentioned twice last week. See, even people who aren't on the pod know, Carl.
I remember it being mentioned, but I didn't know it
If
were
Luke and
official.
Smarty put on a white coat, they could be sponsored by Tefal. It's a cheeky fucker.
What's that mean?
Well, I
Couple
think
of
it's a Teflon
teapots.
thing.
Forehead.
I mean, he does look like he's got a Teflon head, but
I haven't
What are you
got a
trying to
fucking
say?
big forehead. It's just
can't
you
speak,
don't know where it
remember,
starts and
can't
ends.
speak.
I wasn't on last week, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm going twins at back. I think we'll probably will lose, but you know what? I'm going to be a boring vanilla bastard, just like Jay, and go 1-1 because I can't afford to lose any more fucking points.
If I
I'm fucked. I'm fucked. Like
I'm dropping.
Lou is
just
more
honest.
fucked than you.
The thing is, right? We just I don't know. If you don't get anywhere near, you still get a -3, so it doesn't really make any sort of any odds to kind of back a loss, because if you don't get it absolutely bang on, you're ruined anyway. So I'll just be a boring vanilla motherfucker like this shit house on my left.
Right.
I'm just saying what's in my heart, mate.
Well,
Poison.
go with your brain next time. Poison, fucking
I'm
poison.
top of the league, pal. I don't have to go with my brain. The heart's working.
As if you were to have a bet,
It all the way, Annie.
if you were to have a
He's
bet on anybody
fucking
being
shithouse.
that far top of the league out of all of us with our football knowledge and general knowledge and everything else, who would have guessed that it would be fucking the little Sasquatch, the baby Sasquatch?
Why would it not be me? I'm a fond of knowledge, mate. I'm like a walking encyclopedia.
Never in my life would I assume that you would be anywhere near the top. I can't fathom it. I just can't get to grips. I almost feel violently sick.
Is it because he's actually above you now? Is that what makes you violently
He's above
sick?
me for
Because
ages.
you've slagged him for
nibbling
being short for so long, and now he's above you, and you're like, well,
He's been up there a while, Annie.
At one stage, I was nibbling on his
point, and I've just shit out.
Mate, I've got snow on my head.
At one point, I was nibbling on his little hobbit ankles, right? And I was close. And then I've just literally I predicted 2 or 3 awful decisions, and I've like dropped worse than Palace, honestly.
Bottom of the form table, you Luke.
Yeah.
It's an ad in the 90s. Scientific pans. Have we got panheads? Is that what you're saying?
Do you not know what Tefal is?
I know what Tefal is, but I don't get what the reference to me and you is. But
it must be like there's some sort of smooth fucking Teflon coating, maybe.
Ah.
Maybe I am a little bit smooth.
Lumpy syndrome. Getting teabagged by a hobbit.
Still loves it.
Yeah. Andy, I am the youngest member of this podcast. I know I do look it. You're right. So that's probably why I've never seen a Tefal advert.
Oh man, I've got to bring this into the group. You're gonna love it.
Go on,
shit!
It's the Tefal thing.
Oh, you found it.
Oh yes, I knew straight away when I saw it what we were talking about as well. You're gonna have to give me a minute to do this.
Come on then. All right. Okay. And while you're doing that, I'm just gonna get on with my fucking bitter. All right.
Yeah, you get on with your
no bitter with Rachel Adedeji.
Now, this one has cropped up in the group chat a number of times. I don't think we've ever spoken about it on here, and it's to do with Arsenal.
Reason. Just be careful.
It's to do with Arsenal, and it's to do with the recent thing about Mason Greenwood. Coming back to and all being lovey-dovey and everything. It was also the current news that's been released that an Arsenal player has been arrested. We don't know who he is, but we can have a guess. We don't know. We're speculating.
It's the third time, isn't it?
Third time, apparently.
Some people might decide to have a party at the news.
Is this your auto bitter or mine?
I'll cut you off, motherfucker.
So basically, it is Arsenal fans on social media is the biggest auto bitter at the moment, and they were slagging the Mason Greenwood stuff, absolutely slating it. However, they have a particular player that nobody knows the name of, apparently, who has now been arrested for a third time for something very similar. Now, you talk about cutting your nose off to spite your face. You can't have, you just can't do it. It's fucking not right. If you've got one rule, just because they play for a particular club, then have that rule for your own players. Do you know what I mean? Don't start giving it the big and thinking that you're taking the, what's it called? Where you take the
high ground.
Positive. I don't know what I'm saying, but basically where you're trying to be a good person and say that it's all wrong, it's all wrong.
Moral high ground.
Moral high ground. That's it.
Moral high ground,
yeah. Don't be taking the moral high ground when you've got a player that's playing week in, week out for you, and arguably being one of your most important players all season. When he's been arrested on 3 occasions. Look, once bitten, twice shy, 3 times. You're absolutely taking the piss. There's no smoke without fire, so they say. Fuck Arsenal fans. And I'll tell them that if I get a ticket for Saturday.
To be fair, it's not a lot of British fans, are there? There's usually a few flags flying in the old names and all that sort of stuff. It's
Did it?
It's a bit controversial, is what I will say.
No, I completely agree. But don't
much.
Yeah, you can't.
I know what he means.
Rough with the smooth.
Everyone knows what I fucking.
A lot of the Arsenal fans that you see on Twitter, they definitely are not people local to the club. They're just random foreign fans.
They probably are, Jay. It's in London.
Nah, they're not. They're all in Nigeria.
Right,
let's get off this topic.
Let's get this video up. Jesus, whatever.
Anyway, hang on a second. I found this picture.
Are we going to get done for fucking some form of shit?
Are we bollocks?
Video.
Just hurry up.
Cal.
It's just a still. It's not a video. Just watch this.
Oh.
Here they go.
That's the one. That's it.
Jay, which one's which?
Legend.
Which
it
one's
doesn't
which?
matter. It doesn't matter. The foreheads are massive.
Some
it's
serious Art Garfunkel going on there. A couple of them. Jesus.
I wish I'd never seen that. That's the first time. It's from 1984. I weren't born for 2 years. Jesus Christ, give me a break.
Yeah, even I'm not that old. These two are.
So yeah. That's
That's
that. Anyway,
thanks very much.
Yeah, good
I've just one more announcement.
Not just yet, you haven't, because Jay's just sent you a private chat.
Right, okay. Give me a sec.
Let's line this up now.
Oh, shit.
Been an half an hour on ago.
That bleeding thing's been in there for nearly 15 minutes.
I've got to find this thing yet that you've asked me for, so
So now we're just looking to fill airtime. Is that what you're saying?
What is it you're looking for exactly?
Let's forget it. Let's just have. I'm going to put a question to you while Jay's doing that.
Okay.
I'm just going to put a quick question to you. Who starts up front versus Arsenal?
Rodrigo.
Bamford, obviously, surely.
Ooh! Both gone.
I'd like Rodrigo to start, but Bamford will start.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. What he said.
Who starts?
I found it.
That's what I'm asking.
I found it, by the way.
Who would we like to start?
No. Who starts on Saturday?
Bamford.
I think Bamford starts. I'd like Rodrigo to start.
I'd like Rodrigo to start, but Bamford will start.
To be fair, Bamford brings in a lot to the game as well. So, it's just his finishing at the moment. It's just his finishing is letting him down.
And against a side like Arsenal, I think we're going to need more of a Bamford type player than a Rodrigo. We're not going to get many chances. We're going to need somebody to put a bit of pressure on the back line. And I think Bamford for me is probably more comfortable doing that and putting himself about a bit more, and making a bit of a statement that he's there. And then I think bring Rodrigo on when he's tired, and let him run in behind and tire him out when they're already knackered. So
That's
what I do.
I'm ready to.
It's
I'm
my
ready to
dog.
go
Yeah,
if you want me to fire it up.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind there, Jay, please. Yeah.
There you go, man.
What the fuck is that?
This is
what was in the chat.
This is what was in the chat. So there's a few of us from the pod doing a ridiculous amount of walking, and we're raising money for rowing or cycling, or if you want to be a little bitch about it, you can get on a bike, Luke. That's absolutely fine. So it's ourselves and Big Lou from LS11 podcast, and we're doing a fundraiser for the Leeds United Foundation. Now we'll tweet out details as to how you can donate, but there's 4 or 5 of us, and we're all doing 400 miles each. So it's the distance from Elland Road to the Tottenham Toilet Bowl Stadium and back again. So I think what the plan is, it's like we're going to leave the last 2 miles to kind of walk out from town, perhaps on the day of the Spurs game, and just finish it off that way. But any support would be greatly appreciated. It's for a good cause, the Leeds United Foundation. They offer a lot for the community and stuff like that. So please do dig deep. I know times are hard, but it's for a very good cause, and it is something that goes straight back into the community kind of side of things for the foundation as well.
Carl, your enthusiasm is thrilling. Honestly, I'm on the edge of my seat here.
I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. At least I strung all the sentences together. You couldn't get one fucking word out there to take the piss. So,
brilliant. Just back to the walk and back thing. Am I right in thinking that this came about because of a nefarious individual on Twitter posing?
Yeah, we all know about the Twitter monsters who are out there who are trying to rip people off and that. So we thought we'd try and get the money that he raised that probably didn't get. Well, we don't know, but probably didn't get donated to the foundation. Try and get that back and some if we can. But yeah, I am cycling, Carl. That's right. I had an ACL reconstruction in October, and I still struggle to walk.
That's not my problem.
So now I know where to keep it.
I'm just going to stick my Fitbit on my right hand on a night, and I'll have them.
I was going to put mine on the dog.
Oh man, you know that's bestiality, right?
What? Putting a Fitbit on a dog?
I think we've come to the end of the road.
Totally different point you were trying to make there, Carl, but I'm glad you said it.
Yeah, well, you know what? Fuck it, mate.
Yeah, I knew what you meant, mate, but Carl he's just weird and he's Italian.
I knew what he meant as well. I was just
one last thing
to
mention before we do go. Tomorrow night we are back. Unusually on a Wednesday evening, we've got 29. San Francisco.
There's 2 of them.
We've got 29.
2 of them are coming on.
Joining us from the US of A at 8:30 again, just to give us a bit of a rundown on everything that's been going down at the US
men's team.
NT, US men's national team. Yeah, USMNT. So he's going to have a bit of an update on Tyler Adams, hopefully, a bit about Weston and how he's settled in, and what we can expect from him now. He's probably going to have to, get his hands a bit more dirty and step up. But also on Brendan Aronson as well, who's had quite a good time out there by the looks of things in the USM men's national team.
Playing farmers from Chuffing Granada, mate. I could look bloody great.
Have you seen Kane? Have you just on that? Have you seen Harry Kane's record? Who he scored against?
Yeah.
I saw that the other day.
Wayne Rooney's were very similar though. Wayne Rooney's were very similar against fucking shit teams. So you know, it is what it is, isn't it?
We'll. Yeah, mate. I combed it from my arsehole.
Just for listeners, Saladum said, Luke, did they use strands of your hair to repair the ACL?
Class.
His nostril.
I'm not going to lie. On that note, I think we should probably leave it, you know.
I think
we'll see you tomorrow. I think it's Gilly and myself.
It's
right?
Gilly and you tomorrow, man. Yeah.
So we'll be back at 8:30. Get tuned in. Get some popcorn and some Pop Tarts and stuff like that, and get yourself comfy. And we'll be back from 8:30 tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. Toodle pips. Try and catch you dancing. Goodbye.